Hey guys, my name is Matimio, and welcome to another episode of Sunday Mailbox. This is a video series where you, the viewer, can submit your gaming or Battlefield 3 related questions, and then I will give my opinion on them. To get the formalities out of the way, if you would like to submit your own question that could potentially be featured in a future episode, you can do so by leaving a comment down below or by sending me a YouTube message. So the first question for today comes in from 6 of 1, who asks, what one new equipment would you like to be added to Battlefield 4? So I gave this a lot of thought. I was wrestling around with a bunch of ideas in my head, and I came to the conclusion that if I could only choose one new gadget, it would have to be the motion balls from Bad Company 2. I loved those things back in the day. They were extremely useful, and they were so good, in fact, that I felt like they really elevated the class to the point where the Recon was on par with all the other kits, and that's not really the case in Battlefield 3. I mean, it is no mystery that the Recon and the support classes just are not up to the same standards as the Assault and the Engineer. I mean, I love playing the Recon. I love sniping. It's a lot of fun to do, but if I want to be competitive, I'm going to play as the Assault. And while I don't think that adding one new gadget, the motion balls, to Battlefield 4 is going to fix this by any means and put it exactly on par with those two kits if they go down the same route, I do think it will be a step in the right direction. I mean, we do have the MAV and we do have the tugs, and those are great, but one of the downsides of them is that they're very stationary. If you want to move the tug somewhere else, you have to pick it up and then, of course, move it to a different location. The MAV is a little bit more mobile, but one of the downsides is that you leave yourself vulnerable while you move it, and you don't really feel like you're participating in the fight. I mean, sure, you're spotting for your allies when you're moving, and once you place it down, you can move your soldier over there then, but you never really feel like when you're in there that you are participating. And what I love about the motion balls is that all you have to do is quickly switch to it, throw it in the direction that you want to, and then you're back in the fight. You switch back on over to your primary, you're killing people left and right, and you're having fun. And I think that's really the reason why I liked it so much in Bad Company 2. But what gadget would you like to see in Battlefield 4? If you could put anything in the upcoming title, what would it be? Let me know down below in the comment section. So the next question comes in from Jugulator, who asks, hey Matimio, what do you think of Battlefield 4 going down to 32 players like Battlefield Bad Company 2? I felt like the map design was better in that game because of the lower player count. What do you think? So lowering the amount of people that you can have on a server for Battlefield 4 isn't going to translate on over into better maps. What translates to better maps is, well, building really, really good maps that are a lot of fun to play. And if you build one around 64 people and you do it right, or even if you build one around 200 people and you do it correctly, it's going to be a fantastic map. Strike at Karkin comes to mind. It's meant for 64 people on PC, and it works really well. The only time I think that it kind of runs into some trouble is at the start, because you kind of run into the funnel, and it can be challenging to break out and pretty much get the map going, in my opinion. But once things get started and the enemy is able to start taking the back points, the map really opens up and it works very well. One map that comes to mind that is terrible for 64 people is Operation Metro. It's way too condensed, and if you get 64 people in there, it turns into an absolute mess. So what it really comes down to is, can DICE make good maps for a lot of people in them? And they've done that. They have illustrated that in Battlefield 3 and in their previous titles. So no, I don't think they should go down to 32 people. I think they should just make really good maps for 64 or even more. If they want to put 100 people into a server and they make it a good map, I am all for that. So the final question for today comes in from Golden Guns, who asks, I think the belt-fed LMGs in Battlefield 3 are a little underpowered. What do you think about giving the belt-fed LMGs damage against light armored vehicles like the Vodnik? It is realistic that the LMGs with such large rounds would damage these cars. Do you think that this would be a nice buff for the belt-fed LMGs, or would this be overpowered? So no, I don't think that this would be overpowered, really, but I also don't see this really impacting the game all that much. I mean, while sure, it would be nice for the light machine guns to get a buff, and they would be a little bit more useful on the battlefield, I don't see this having much effect. There's really never a situation where I'm like, oh damn, oh no, there's a Jeep holding down a long corridor. Whatever shall we do? Usually that never happens. Either they get RPG'd immediately or the guy in the gunner seat gets shot out, and that little spree that person had for probably about 5 seconds is ruined. Jeeps in this game are really not all that useful. What I would like to see, and I know this isn't going to happen, is just reduce the recoil and the bullet spread on them. I think that would make them 100% more useful, and you'd see a lot more support plays out there. But if DICE doesn't want to go down that route, this also got me thinking for Battlefield 4. What if they made the belt-fed LMGs better at shooting through things? And they would have to make maps accordingly, because as of right now, you can't really shoot through a whole lot, but make it so that they have a higher bullet penetration. That would be kind of cool. That would be more than what we have right now, and I don't think it would make it overpowered, but it would give the support players a little bit more options. But yeah, guys, that is all the questions I am going to be answering for today. I would love to know what you guys thought about these 3 ideas. Let me know down below in the comment section. But until tomorrow, everyone, have a good one and take it easy.